Okay, good day everyone. It's Total Investor here, everyone's favorite YouTube investment and trading channel. What we normally do here is discuss and review investment and trading opportunities in stocks, commodities, and sometimes even cryptos. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to look at a sector that is very important to the economy, and that is the auto sector. Okay, we're going to start off with a big company, well-known, Ford. F on the New York Stock Exchange. What we have is, like, if we go back to the lows of March 2020, we bottomed out at around $4 per share, and it's been one straight line up. It touched the trend line once, twice, three times, and we are actually still underneath or above the trend line, the upward sloping trend line. So that is a big plus. If we take a look at the blue here, which is the moving average, it's above that, and the moving average is sloping upwards. However, because we just recently had a correction here from 16.5 down to around $13, we can see that the shorter term moving average is pointed downwards. We have strong support at around $12 to $11. That could very well hold. So still looking at the price movement, it's still slightly bullish. However, looking at other indicators like the RSI, it just traded below 50. In fact, we're at 49.36. If we look at the ADX line, it has corrected downwards twice. Okay, so that would have been a sell signal up here once it corrected downwards. And we're also in the negative, or in the bearish section with the DIs. So a little bit of a mixed signals here. Probably not the best trading or investment situation that we would want. So right now, Ford will probably be a void. Okay. Rather than having a position one way or another because of the mixed signals. Let's look at GM. This one is a little bit clearer. If we would take the lows here at around $15 back in March of 2020, it has had a nice upward move all the way up to just under 65. However, if we draw one straight line upwards from the lows to here, and all the way up, we'll see that that trend line has been crossed to the downside, so the stock has broken that strong downtrend line. It has corrected significantly. We are just above a strong support of around $45. However, most of the damage to this chart has already been done. Okay, the shorter term moving average is sloping downwards. The stock is below that. The stock is also below the longer term moving average. Two negatives right there. Plus, we have the RSI at 40. It crossed below 50 just a couple of weeks ago. So that's another negative. The ADX topped out, and I believe that's in April. Okay, pretty much close to when the stock topped out. And the DIs have crossed into negative in mid-July. Okay, so this is all negative here. Okay, that is definitely something you want to avoid entirely, short term and intermediate term. Next, we have Ferrari, race, RACE, on the big board. The low going back to March 2020 was just below $120. This one moved up. We're almost at it doubled in less than a year, and it is consolidated. It is above both moving averages, the shorter term and the intermediate term. If we draw a line, an upward trend line here, it is above, the stock is above the upward trend line. That's a positive. The RSI at 56, it's above 50. That's still positive. And the DIs going back and forth, but right now it's positive. I love to see the ADX a little bit higher than 8. However, this is it's positive, but certainly not as strong as one would like it to be. Okay, but so far it's the best out of what we have shown and discussed so far. Okay, next is Tata Motors from India, TTM, probably not the most well known in the sector, but it is certainly tradable. Lots of volume going through on a weekly basis, 5.9 last week. It trades even more, so that's like well over $1 million a day. Not a problem. This stock too found its low in March of 2020 at around $4. It has jumped to a high of 24. That's 6 times your money in about 1 year. Not bad. It has pulled back on a correction. We've been consolidating for well over half a year. We're finding a little bit of support at around $18. That's still good. The stock is above its longer term moving average, but below the short term. Why? Well, that's because it's corrected. That will change if we start moving up. If there's a bounce and it starts moving up. Positive is that we're still above the 50. We're at 51 on the RSI. That's good news. Although the DIs gave their sell signal back on the first week of July. Okay, so a little bit of a mixed signal here, but I think that if we still say above $17 and it bounces, we're still good. This will of course change if we get a bounce, but this is really the number that is the most important in my opinion. $18 per share. Okay. Next, we've got a company that makes a lot of profits and cash flow. Toyota. Okay, it had its low just below $110 in March of 2020, jumped all the way up to 185. We are still good on this. Okay, upward trend line. I believe it goes to about 160, 165, and that's where you will see the next level of support if it ever pulls back. We did pull back and it bounced right up. We are above, the stock is above the short-term moving average and even the longer-term moving average. The RSI is above 50 at 59, and the DIs are still in bullish zone. So this is probably the best stock looking, technically speaking, of the bunch so far. Okay, one more, and this time it's Tesla, TSLA, very well known. Now I know that this is not a perfect comparison because Tesla is more than just a quote-unquote auto company, and it's an EV as opposed to ICE. So not quite perfect, but I'm going to use it anyways. Everybody wants to know about Tesla. Okay, it too bottomed out. We had a nice correction down to, I believe it was around $70. I could be wrong on that. It roared all the way up to 900 plus. That is a huge move in less than a year. It pulled back and has been consolidating since then. Okay, the previous high was at around $500. It never quite pulled back to that $500. It's actually just below $550 here and here. So that is a floor, a strong floor. The next level would be down to 500. I don't know if it'll quite go back. It's had its opportunity to bounce off that. So right now we have an upward trend line starting from here and going upwards. It's above that. The stock is above an upward sloping short-term moving average. It's above an upward sloping longer-term moving average. The stock is, the RSI is at 58. That's bullish, and modestly bullish on the DIs. So everything is a go on Tesla. Unfortunately, no price predictions. We're just going to take it a little bit at a time. I would personally, looking at the chart, I would just place a stop if it ever broke below this particular upward trend line, which would probably be maybe just below 650, or you could even use the moving average here at around 640 as a stop. Okay, now please keep in mind this is my interpretation of the charts. Okay, I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I showed you here is strictly for educational purposes only. Okay, please, if you want more of this, subscribe to the channel. Below the video, there's a big red button that says subscribe. Please subscribe. YouTube will notify you when a new video is posted. Okay, please, big thumbs up. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'll even respond if I can. So down in the comment section, leave me a comment. With that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.